You've asked for this for so long, and here I am now. Finally, I have some time to make this comparison. In today's video, you're going to see some footage comparing the Canon PowerShot V1 here, the Sony ZV1-II on this side, and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in the middle. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone, I hope you are all good. I'm Photorabs, a portrait photographer based in France, and I like creating content about action cams, vlogging kits, and anything related to cameras actually. If you are interested in these kind of topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. And by the way, I activated on my channel the member zone where you can ask all the questions related to the gear that I showcase on my channel, or even if you'd like to learn some new skills, if you'd like to see some specific kind of footage with a camera, with a lens, and or maybe some audio tests, you can do that. You can go to the member zone and ask me those questions, and I'll make dedicated videos to answer that. So now we will compare these three cameras. Mainly it's gonna be between the Canon and the Sony, and I have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 just as a reference. And this section was totally shot in fully automatic mode on the three cameras. Everything is set to auto. I have the ND, variable ND, which is on the Sony ZV1-II, and it is in automatic mode on the Canon PowerShot V1. So now we will start talking about these three cameras in a vlogging perspective. Actually, the Canon has the bigger sensor in this comparison. It has a 1.4-inch sensor compared to 1-inch sensor on the DJI and another 1-inch sensor on the Sony. But keep in mind that this comes at a certain cost because the Canon is the most expensive one here, and it is the heaviest one here. It weighs way more than the Sony, which is at around 292 grams and 179 grams for the DJI, while the Canon is about 426 grams. On the paper and on the spec sheets, the DJI is way better than the other cameras in this comparison, because with the DJI we can shoot in 4K 120 frames per second. We have the tracking, a mechanical gimbal, we have the Osmo audio, which is incredible. Now I'm using it wirelessly with the DJI mic 2 that I have here. So on papers, the DJI is way better than the others, but I will not dig into these specs. I'll just try them in automatic mode and in aperture priority later on, just to make some vlogging tests to see which one you prefer the most. Let's talk a little bit about the focal length and the apertures of these cameras. In the middle I have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which has a focal length of 20 millimeters, but if we add the wide angle adapter it will go to 15 millimeters. We don't have any crop while stabilizing the footage because of the mechanical gimbal. On the side here we have the Sony ZV1-II with a focal length, the widest at 18 millimeters and the widest aperture at f1.8. But if we would like to stabilize the footage with the digital stabilization, we will be at around 22 millimeter focal length. But the Canon has a 16 millimeters at the widest angle and an aperture of 2.8, which is way narrower than the aperture that we have on the Sony and on the DJI. But if we will stabilize the footage of the Canon with the digital stabilization, the focal length, which is 16 millimeters, will be a little bit less than 20 millimeters, which is fair enough for vlogging at arm length. But yeah, this is something to keep in mind when choosing a vlogging camera. The previous section was totally filmed in fully automatic on the three cameras, but since the DJI has a fixed aperture of f2.0, I find it more interesting to set the other cameras in aperture priority and to set them at the widest aperture. So now the camera cannot choose on its own the aperture or the correct aperture for the shot. I set the Canon at f2.8 and I set the Sony at f1.8, which is the widest on these two cameras. So we can make this comparison: f1.8, f2.0 and f2.8 here. let me know what you think about the background blur in this shot. So I have once again the Canon on the side, the Sony here, and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in the middle. Let me know what you think about the blur of the background in this shot. To be honest, when I compared the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to the Canon PowerShot V1 in my first vlog comparison video for the Canon, I thought that I would like a lot the footage coming out of the DJI. I was shooting in fully automatic, by the way, even the aperture was in automatic. But then when I saw the footage, I was kind of shocked with the skin tones of the DJI because they were so pinky, and the green, the foliage around was so fluorescent in my opinion and according to my taste and to my liking. So that was a little bit annoying, while the Canon kept great skin tones and great greens in the screen. And by the way, when I flipped the camera to the other side, so when I was not in the shot, the greens on the DJI were so nice. But when I was in the shot, when I had my face in the shot, the green were so fluorescent and my skin tone was so pink. So I think that the DJI somehow exposes for the face and not for the whole scene around, and that could be interesting for some and not interesting at all for others. But I'm really curious to see your thoughts about that. You can go watch that video, by the way. I will link it somewhere here, so you can go watch it after this one and let me know your honest thoughts about it, whether you find that the DJI is still better than the Canon, or I should use the Canon a little bit more, or even maybe getting the Sony again and shooting with it more vlogs. Let me know your thoughts down below. And because we are talking about vlogging conditions and scenarios, let us compare the audio coming out of these cameras. I have the Sony here with the wind muff on top of it for the mic capsules. The mic is set to automatic. I have the Canon PowerShot with the automatic mic, of course, and the wind muff on top of it. And I will not compare it to this DJI Mic Mini, but to the internal microphone of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So you can tell me which one sounds better, which one you think is richer, which one sounds more natural than the other. Let me know your thoughts down below. You gave me your thoughts on the image, and now I'm waiting your thoughts also on the audio. Which one you think will make it to your arsenal to vlog with for the upcoming season 2025, summer 2025? Let me know that down below. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. This is an audio test 1 2 3 test ABC. To be honest, I really used to love the Sony ZV1-II. It was my top-down camera in my home studio setup for a while, and then I replaced it with the Fuji X-S20 because I have more lenses. I can change focal length in the way that I want. But do you think I should reconsider using it, or I should sell it or keep it on the shelf, taking some dust and so on, since I have now the Canon and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3? Let me know your thoughts down below. So now you saw some audio tests as well as some image tests between these three cameras in vlogging conditions. If you have the chance to get one of them, whether the Canon PowerShot V1, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or the Sony ZV1-II, to use it as a vlogging camera in summer 2025, which one will it be? Let me know your thoughts, your positive thoughts about these cameras and your negative thoughts about them in the comment section below. That might help lots of people out there who are reading the comments so they can make the good decision while purchasing a camera. And that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a heavy setup. I have the three cameras here with me, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit like, to subscribe, to ring the bell so you'll not miss any upcoming posts. And once again, if you'd like to support my channel, I have lots of affiliate links down below, and also you can join my member zone where you can ask all the questions about the gears that I showcase on my channel. And thank you for watching, guys. See you on another video. Ciao for now.